Daryl here with Ridgewater Homes. I'm going to take you on a tour of this 1949 home.
This home is what we call our 1949 Burnaby Salvage. Originally, this home was pretty much a teardown home. It had holes in the walls, the windows were broken, it had lead siding, asbestos inside. It had an illegal addition on the back that wasn't built to code or with permits. In addition to the front, same thing, wasn't built to code or with permits and was falling apart. We had holes in the ceiling, in the roof. It was an absolute mess. It is now a very modern, functional home with a great yard for a family. So let's check it out. What do you do with a 1949 home that's been vacant for a while? Well, at least we thought it was vacant until we went inside. There were sleeping bags in the different corners. There were walls that were torn apart. The electrical had been torn out. The plumbing had been torn out. There were holes in the ceiling, the walls, windows were broken. It was a mess. So we start over. Why didn't we tear down? Well, this is a multi-family zoned area. We were only allowed to renovate. Now, a renovation can be 75% of the house. We have to retain 25%. So we kept the original joists. We sistered on new joists. We furred out the walls to 2x6. We kept the original slab. We kept the original foundation. And we worked off of that with our new design. We had issues with the design that the original house was actually beyond the setbacks because the setbacks had changed over the years. We had actually gained 2 feet of the neighbor's property. The whole yard ended up being dug up. We had sewer lines. We had like 2 or 3 different sewer lines coming in. We had, I think, 3 lines, water lines coming in. We had 2 sanitary lines. We had drainage lines, the old clay tiles that were packed full of dirt, cracked and broken. So everything in this house was brought up to code. Everything is new from the city down. We had an issue with the old house that we had a tree right up against the house. That tree had to be removed. We did keep a chunk of that, which we ended up using for the mantle. We ended up putting on a very unique style roof to this neighborhood. We put on a butterfly roof. Now, with a butterfly roof, you need to make sure that the snow, the rain, and everything is going to come off and not sit there. So there was a lot of extra work taken to make sure that the roofing and the way it was framed, that the water moved to where we wanted it to. So the chimney in the front is where all our water goes from both sides of that chimney. The inside, we ended up vaulting the ceiling to give it more space and to give it more light, because even though we added almost double the space, it is still a small house. We moved the kitchen to the front of the house so that you got more light and that you could see what's going on. The yard itself, we made very usable. We brought up the back in order for it to be used, as it was very sloped before, and the front was all over the place. So we put retaining walls on the side, and we ended up creating new fencing for a very unique and natural look to this house. We put on a stacked stone rock on the chimney, which we also carried inside on the fireplace. In the back, we put on vinyl siding because it's durable, but it's also cuts the costs and helps save money. On the front, we used hardy board and hardy panel. Remember, this still is a 1949 home. You can see the original shape of the house. As we go inside, we did a 5-panel door, which we did in a punch of red just to give it that extra wow factor. The vaulted ceilings in here were just a perfect touch, where you can put a fan in. We have a light over the front door. The kitchen was very roomy and took in a great view. The chimney that we put in, which housed the drainage, we did a pour-in-place cap, which covered the stone as well as the chimney itself. Panels that we put on the front, we had to try to keep to the design, so it took a bit of creativity on how these were placed. Once everything came together, once the sod went in and the trees and plants went in, this just brought everything to life. There were no plants that we took out that were saved. There was the one tree that we removed, which we kept part of it, but everything else was all brand new throughout the house. And it was really nice to see something come together and look so nice. We kept some of the original boulders that we found when excavating and added them to the landscaping. This kind of kept some of that old stuff from the old house. And that's a renovation for this 1949 home. Inside, we had 3 bedrooms upstairs and 2 bathrooms. Downstairs, 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. A lot more space for a great family and a rental. It's hard to believe that this was once that 1949 home that the homeless had moved in, stripped, and just left for garbage. Most people would have just torn this home down. But look what an amazing home this now is.